Welcome to what seems to be becoming a yearly home refresh, where we clean, itemize, and really evaluate what we need, use, or are simply wasting from lack of use. Last year, I made a video stating I never wanted to declutter again. Instead, I wanted to address my habits and really see if it was possible. So in today's video, we're going to clean the entire house, itemize every single thing that I own, and see where and why I might need to declutter any of our belongings. It's important for me to get to the root of why I may need to declutter something and better understand my habits. So if you like the video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing, as it really supports my channel. Okay, grab a cup of tea and let's get into it.
It's that time of year again. It's warm, we've got more energy, we're a bit more excited to be outside, and our winter clothes need to go back in the cupboard. So I decided to clean the entire house. I have spent the last couple of days deep cleaning this kitchen. And I'm going to go through everything that I own and see if there is anything that I need to declutter and why. If you haven't watched my videos before, last year I made a video saying I am never decluttering again. It was a bold statement. Maybe it was naive. Maybe it was motivational for myself. Who knows? But today we're going to investigate. Have my habits changed? Have they stayed the same? Am I consuming? Am I using all of those items? Am I still a minimalist? Am I becoming someone that has more things, but everything is being used? That's what we're going to discover. That's what we're going to investigate, interrogate. Maybe your clothes are too small for you now, like some of them are for me. Maybe some of your plates have broken and you no longer can use them because they're not safe. There are so many reasons as to why we may need to declutter that are so far beyond what I thought last year, which was simply, if I have to declutter, it's because I am consuming too many things and there isn't space in my house, or I'm just not valuing the things that I actually own. Yes, I do believe that I was a little naive, but I also believe that I was really hopeful. Okay, but I have come up with a plan. First of all, I had to clean everything because it gave me a really good fresh slate, but I'm going to itemize every single thing that I own. This for me is particularly important when it comes to the equipment I have for my job, also for things like hiking and camping and climbing, because if you have quite a few things, it's very easy to forget about those like little things that are stuffed away in cupboards or in drawers, and if they're not being used, I would rather sell them or donate them so that somebody else could get some use out of them. So despite the fact that I started with the kitchen and I cleaned absolutely everything, I gave it a really good deep clean. I even cleaned the inside of the oven, which is not something that I usually do, even though I probably should. We're gonna start with my clothes and my bedroom because the weather is so warm and it's summer, and I want to be able to change my clothes and put all the things from my winter wardrobe away and bring all of those spring and summer things out that I hope still fit me, but if they don't, then that's something that we're going to come up against and we're going to discuss. Will I declutter? Will I sell? Will I hold on to them because I think that one day they might fit me again? Or are we just going to live in the real world and realize it's okay to let things go? To make this as easy and smooth as possible, I'm going to set up my spreadsheet now. If you've never watched any of my videos before, this is so counter to my personality, and that's why I think it's really important that I do this.
I have a pretty cluttered mind, and so remembering everything that I own is pretty difficult. Sometimes I'll have things in the back of my wardrobe or the back of cupboards and I just forget about them. Not because I don't use them, but just simply because I've put them away thinking that I've stored them correctly, and then I just forget to bring them out. So I'm starting off by making a spreadsheet, and with every single sheet I'm going to have a different room or a different category, like clothes, beauty and toiletries, work gear, and hiking gear. While I'm getting this sheet set up, I just want to take a moment to talk about the Acer Aspire Vero and how I'm using it to itemize and document everything I own. This is an AI PC designed with sustainability in mind. The Acer Aspire Vero utilizes the Intel Core Ultra processor for an optimal balance of power and performance with extended battery life. It's made from 60% post-consumer recycled chassis and is assembled with standard screws for easy disassembly for upgrades and recycling, which is so important. It's free from volatile organic compounds, paints, or additives, and the packaging is also 100% recyclable. But sustainability doesn't mean a decrease in performance. One of the best things I also love about this laptop is that it is really light, which makes it optimal for traveling since I move around a lot. and is super helpful for when I'm on the go, especially when I'm moving around the house trying to itemize everything. If you would like to learn more about the Acer Aspire Vero, check out the description below, or ask me in the comments and I'll make sure to reply to everyone. Okay, I've just finished my first table. I've itemized everything that should be in my bedroom in terms of dresses, shorts, tops, jumpers, jackets, accessories, all of those kind of things. So now it's time to try them all on and input how many of those items we actually use. I've also created tags for highly used items, medium, potential declutter, and definitely declutter. And then there's also a column for notes, just in case there's a note in there of something that there are additional reasons as to why I want to keep them. So let's try on those dresses, tops, jackets, everything that I have in terms of clothes and get itemizing. I'll be honest here, I wasn't expecting to feel so comfortable and confident in these dresses. I thought they'd be a little too tight or hug in places I felt a little uncomfortable, but that really wasn't the case. Each one felt just as special, summery and fun as I last remembered. And most of them are at least a few years old, with the exception of my 2 long dresses, which I actually got for my book photo shoot. So needless to say, these dresses won't be going anywhere. I've really been experimenting with my personal style, and I definitely seem to have 2 looks. My wintry style is very much androgynous and wearing jeans and a t-shirt and not many florals or anything like that. But as soon as the sun comes out, I am embracing flowers, pinks, lighter colours, pastel colours, and really leaning into a very specific kind of look. My favourite is actually the last one, which is a white linen dress from Jaeger, I think, which actually used to be my mum's. Not sure why she stopped wearing it, but it's now my new summer favourite, and I'm very grateful to have it. Okay, now that I've tried on all my dresses, I'm going to input into my list how many dresses that I have, and I have 9. And I'm going to put them under medium usage because there are several that I wear all the time, but then there are some that kind of rarely come out and some that are just for special occasions. So I'm just going to put it in the notes that some are for special occasions, and also mostly they're for the summer, so I don't really tend to wear them in the winter and the autumn. There's only one, the black dress, that's the one that I wear during autumn winter because it's slightly thicker and it's longer and it's also black, so it just kind of feels a bit witchy and a bit autumny. I think I'll also create another list which actually itemizes every single item in terms of what it is, so not just 9 dresses, but what the dresses actually are, and then think about how much usage that they get out of them. But that's definitely for another time. So okay, I'm actually feeling fairly pleased about how the dress trying on went. I'm a little bit more nervous about trying on all my shorts and skirts. These were definitely some items that I bought during the pandemic when I had actually dropped a few sizes, so I'm not sure if these are still gonna fit me, so I'm just feeling a little bit unsure, a little bit insecure. But at the end of the day, if they don't fit me, then I would rather sell them or give them away so that someone who actually fits them can wear them and enjoy them. There's no point in me keeping them in my closet if they're just not getting used, and they might make me feel bad, so we shall try them on. I think let's start with the skirts. Not sure that this is flattering, and it's definitely a little small, so unfortunately I'm gonna let it go. I think the same might be true for this next one as well. Yeah. These are a little tight. Yeah, so shorts really aren't my thing, or at least they haven't been for quite a few years. Honestly, I only usually wear them to work out in when it's pretty hot, and they definitely aren't my go-to. A couple of these pairs fit me absolutely fine, but a few are definitely too small now and will have to go in the donate pile. And that's perfectly okay. For me, it's particularly sad that my vintage shorts are too small for me, but it is what it is. I'm obsessed with these. These are like my favourite hiking shorts ever. These are a bit too tight as well, which is a shame because these are like my favourite shorts. Never mind. I think I've always found these shorts unflattering, but they were so comfortable that I would just use them to do yoga or mobility at home. Yeah, I just don't find them to be particularly flattering at all. But I think I might keep them because they're just really comfortable, and if I'm just wearing them in my own home, then it doesn't really matter, does it? I think part of the difficulty for me is not that my body has changed. I think that's just a normal part of life, but it's more that I have spent time searching for clothes that I truly liked and then spent money on them, and then I have to give them away because they no longer fit me. I'm not the kind of person that buys clothes all the time. I will honestly buy maybe a couple of pieces a year, probably every 2 years or every 3 years. I like to find things that I absolutely love, and then I will cherish those items and I will wear them again and again and again. So that's one of the saddest things for me, when I spend a lot of time and effort trying to find the clothes that I really like that make me feel really good, and I spend good money on them. And then when they don't fit me anymore, it kind of just feels like such a waste. But you know, things change and we change, and if I can sell them and get some of that money back, so then I can reinvest that into something that fits me now and will make me feel good for however many years to come, then that's still a positive that can come out of this, I think. I'm actually a little ill at the moment, if you can't tell from my voice, so we're going to reconvene tomorrow to try on all my tops and my trousers, my dungarees, jumpers, cardigans, jackets. So I'll see you in the morning. I spent the rest of the evening going through all of my clothes, putting them into different piles just to make it easier to try everything on in the morning. It was also a good practice in just discovering kind of the things that I hadn't thought about in a while because they'd been at the back of the closet. So let's start with tops. I don't actually wear these kind of tops very much because they definitely make me feel a little bit insecure. I've also realized that I feel a little bit less secure about my arms. I just find that so weird. I never have thought about that before until more recently, when I guess my perception of myself has changed a little bit. But I do love all of these tops and I do still wear them, but they're definitely a very summery top. I also have quite a lot of tops where I just am pretty chill. They're very casual, and I like to wear a plain t-shirt with jeans a lot of the time because it feels nice, it looks good, and yeah, it just feels very me. I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of any of these tops. There were a few sporty tops that I decided to get rid of because I realized after pulling them out from my summer bag that I just had not worn them even in peak hiking season. There was just something about them. Maybe they're a bit too tight, maybe they just didn't fit me anymore. But also now that I live in Colorado, I'm a big fan of the sun hoodie, and sun hoodies protect me from the sun a lot more than some of these t-shirts did. I really love my Melly. It's definitely a very Colorado thing, but it's one of the most comfortable things I've ever bought to hike in, and I'm definitely going to cherish that for a long time. I also have a couple of sentimental tops that, yeah, they're just too small, so I'm just going to give them up and I'm just gonna move on. Now, when it comes to cardigans, I actually used to not own any cardigans at all, but now I'm a really big fan because I don't have to put a jumper over my head if I want to get a little bit warmer. I have a couple of cardigans. Most of them, to be honest, are actually secondhand. The green one and this black one, they're both secondhand. They were my mum's. And this one is my favourite one of all, which was my granny's. So not only secondhand, but vintage. And then this cardigan I actually made. It's my favourite one, mostly because I made it myself. And also this one as well. This is a crochet one. The one before was a knitted one. This one is definitely far too big, but I love it so much. I definitely have a lot of jackets for different seasons. Some for summer, a couple for winter, definitely a few for hiking, and a couple that are just purely sentimental, but I do wear them, of course. Again, a lot of my jackets are secondhand. I also have a few running kind of overalls, but this white jacket is my absolute favourite. I wear this all the time, and this puffy one is mostly one that I wear in the winter. I love this gilet. It was from Girlfriend Collective. And this black jacket, I actually don't wear enough, but I thrifted this last year and I just really like the cut of it. I really like the fit. And of course, I have my Stutterheim rain jacket that I've had for almost 10 years now. And I think I have maybe 2 or 3 hiking jackets, and that's pretty much it because I'm a big fan of just using what you have and only getting 1 or 2 things that you love a lot. Okay, all I have left to try on are all my trousers and jeans and bottoms, and then also my jumpers, which after I try on, I can decide if I want to declutter any and then put those away for autumn, winter, because we are definitely in the summer season now. So it's definitely time to put those away so that they're taking up less space in my closet. Now, when it comes to jeans, I'm pretty loyal. I'd like to find one pair that I love the most. That first pair are my favorite, and the rest of these, I quite like the second pair, but they're just a little bit too tight and light, so I'm not sure. These Lucy and Yak jeans, I can't tell if they still fit me well or if they bunch in a way that looks weird, but these jeans are super old and yeah, I'm not sure that they quite suit me anymore. And these last ones, well, they're just too small. Now, these athletic trousers, they're just running trousers. I really like them, they make me feel comfortable, and that's really all that matters. And then I have 2 hiking pants and 1 pair of tracksuit bottoms. Again, super comfortable. I used to have another pair, but they ripped and they got stained and they were actually beyond repair. Looking at this made me realize I actually only have 1 fairly smart summery pair of trousers. Dungarees though, they're my favorite. I love these so much. They're from Preorder and they're corduroy. They're quite thick though, so they're definitely winter. Then my second kind, unfortunately, these are just too short now. I really liked that, but yeah. These are my favorite dungarees. They're from Carhartt and they're pink and I love them. And then these pair, this is just something I wear when I'm doing DIY, when I'm gardening, just something really helpful and practical. So I've tried on all of my sort of overalls, dungarees, one pieces, as well as all my trousers. And it's kind of sad that all my jeans don't fit me except for just 1 pair, but luckily the ones that do fit me are my favorite. And I'd rather get rid of clothes because they're just sitting in the cupboard, like they're not getting used because I don't feel comfortable in them. I can't even do one of them up. So I'd rather someone who can actually fit into them get some use out of those. My other dungarees, they are pretty wintry. These are my favorite summery ones because they're pretty light. But the ones that I'm getting rid of, the checkered ones, they're just too short for me now. And I think they just look silly. It's also quite thick, so it's definitely more of an autumn winter dungarees, but I've been thinking about getting rid of those for a while just because they are so short now. I feel like I must have grown or I must have shrunk them by accident. It is what it is. Anyway, last thing is jumpers that we're going to try on. This is definitely my biggest category, I think. Hopefully there will be a few that we can declutter, get rid of, because my house is only small and we don't have very much cupboard space. I really don't have a lot of places to put these. Once I've tried on all my jumpers, I will show you what I am decluttering, and I also have an idea as to what I'm going to do with some of these white t-shirts that have been stained or discolored. Instead of decluttering them, because I really like the shape of them, I have another idea up my sleeve. You've probably seen these before if you've watched my previous capsule wardrobe videos, but I definitely have a nice jumper category. These are my favorite. They're the ones that I wear when I'm just trying to look a little bit smarter. This one is actually, again, one of my favorites, mainly because this is the first jumper that I ever made. It's full of mistakes, but I'm really proud of myself. I really love this one. I've had this for years, and this was also secondhand. I also have far too many casual jumpers, and I'm sure that if you've watched my channel before, you'll know just how many I do have. And to be honest, they still all get worn, except for this Michigan one, it's too small now. But the other ones, they all get worn because I go to the gym a lot, I hike a lot, I'm outside a lot, I'm also doing a lot of DIY and things like that. And these casual jumpers are really good. There's only 1 or 2 that I really just don't wear, and I think I'll definitely declutter those. A couple are definitely sentimental, like the Michigan Hail one, but mostly they are super practical, and I keep them all hung up so that they're very easily accessible. I can see which ones I still have and which ones aren't getting used. And I also color coordinate them in my cupboard, which I actually find to be very helpful when I'm looking for something very specific. Okay, now that I have finally tried on absolutely everything in my wardrobe, which was surprisingly tiring, I have a pile right here in front of me that is going to be the potential discard pile or donate, give away, sell pile. And then all of these jumpers will go back in the cupboard, but they'll be put away for autumn, winter now, because it's just way too hot at the moment for any kind of winter or warm gear. I'm also just going to update my spreadsheet so that I know exactly how many fleeces, how many jumpers I have, how many pairs of dungarees and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll look at exactly how many items we are getting rid of and how many items are left in my closet. Okay, so it looks like I have about 16 items of clothing that I want to declutter, mainly because they no longer fit me or I literally have not worn them in the past year and a half. I'm going to put these aside and I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be doing with some of the white t-shirts that have some kind of weird staining on them and I have no idea where it's from, but I want to keep them. I have no idea where this staining has come from, and it's quite subtle. If you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but it's kind of like these weird dark spots. I don't know if you can see those. And it's kind of like around the neck area and the back of the neck area. It doesn't seem to be anywhere else. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I really like the design, the fit, and I specifically thrifted these t-shirts with fabric in mind. So I bought 100% cotton t-shirts. So I want to keep them. I bought some dye. I was thinking of using something else, something more natural to dye them. But I thought that this would probably be the most successful for someone as inexperienced as I am in dyeing things. So I'm going to have a go at dyeing these t-shirts brown. Brown is a color that I really like wearing. I think it's softer than black, and you can tell I wear a lot of black. So I'm going to try dyeing all of these pieces brown, and I really think I'm going to get a lot more use out of them. It's also just a great way if you want to upcycle something and you don't want to get rid of it, but you want to get rid of a stain. You could also embroider over things like that. Unfortunately, the stains are a little bit too big for me to do that for these t-shirts. And I'm also still not very good at embroidery. So I think that dyeing is the way forward. Now that we've put the wet pieces of clothing into the dye bath, I have to keep it moving for like 30 minutes to 60, depending on how dark I want the brown to be. I can tell if you don't mix it around, it will be splotchy. I don't know if this will be splotchy or not, it might be, but we will see. This pot is exclusively for projects like this, for dyeing and stuff. I don't use this for food, just in case you're wondering. So after 30 minutes, I'm going to take this out, rinse it with warm water, and then we're going to put them in the washing machine and we will see how the color comes out. I've had really good success with dyeing stuff before and getting a nice even color, but you just never know. You can do everything right and it can still come out not perfect, so we'll see what happens. I won't lie, I'm pretty surprised at just how badly those t-shirts came out with the RIT dye. And I think that's probably my last time using that kind of dye. I did everything right and I've done it before and it came out really well. But never mind, I think it's fun to experiment. I'm still going to use those t-shirts, you know, they're a little bit tie-dye-esque, but it is what it is. It's always good to have clothes to wear when you're doing DIY projects or just simply going to the gym. That's it for me with this decluttering video, with decluttering my wardrobe. I've been through absolutely everything I own. I've made sure I've kept the things that truly fit me and give me value, and the other things I'm going to find new homes for. I always think the best thing to do is to try and give them to people who actually want them or sell them, because then you know they're going to a good home. When you donate them, sometimes they don't actually get used. So it's always worth doing clothes swaps with your friends, asking, you know, people that you know if they are interested in something, or putting it online, because you never know. It might be useful for someone else. If you're interested in seeing part 2 of this decluttering video where we go through absolutely everything else in my house, then make sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate you being here. This was a tiring journey, I won't lie. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, as always, about whether you declutter, whether you don't, the reasons why you might do that or not, and how you feel when clothes don't necessarily fit you anymore. It's been a very therapeutic experience for me, I think. Rather than feeling upset that things no longer fit me, I'm just kind of, you know, ready to let those things go and move on. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Okay,